Yeah, I'm doing trend. We can round up. Yeah.
Gives people a chance to see them anyway, and they see our neighborhoods.
That's okay. Don't worry. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Good to go. Okay, Erica's good to go too. Yay. Okay, we're live streaming too here today. Hi everybody, my name is Erinn Morgan. I am the Editor-in-Chief of Eye Care Business Magazine, and I'm so glad to see all of you guys here today. Really awesome to be back in person. Thank you for joining us for our Eye Care Business Trends presentation. We're going to talk about spring, summer 2022 trends in eyewear today. We're going to pinpoint 5 key trends, and we're going to talk about that trend. We're going to have some trend boards that our team has pulled together that you'll be able to see up there that show kind of the trend, the colors, the details of the trend. And then we have our wonderful model here, Holland Smith from Wilhelmina. She's going to be modeling our eyewear and walking around the audience so that all of you can see it up close and personal. And our live stream folks that are watching, you'll be able to get a really close-up view too of the eyewear as well. So I'd like to introduce our amazing presenters here today. First, I'd like to introduce you to my right here, Terrence Lackren, who is the VP Community Relations, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at Luxury, is a long title, at Luxury Optical Holdings. And Terrence is, as obviously as you can tell, is very in tune with the trends and very fashion focused, and a good friend of Eye Care Business, and we've done a lot of collaboration together. He also has his very own accessories collection with Anna Corinne, which is an eyewear and a chain, frame chain, and an Anna Corinne frames. That's right. And if you haven't seen Anna Corinne frames, you definitely need to check them out because they are spectacular. So I'd also like to introduce you to Eye Care Business's managing editor, Carrie Ann Ramo, who is also our social media content manager for Eye Care Business. And Carrie Ann has worked really hard with me on all of our fashion coverage in Eye Care Business. She helped pull together the trend boards that you'll see here today. We work together on all of our kind of fashion shoots that we pull together for Eye Care Business, every single issue. And we work a lot in, we used to be able to see a lot of product. We're really looking forward to seeing product in person this show again. And but we've seen a lot of it virtually over the last couple of years. And it ain't the same, but it's definitely been really helpful. So we're staying in touch with, we get probably 20 press releases a day on new collections, new eyewear. So we're really immersed in kind of what's being debuted and what's launching and what the trends are. And then we also follow, the runway shows and on the fashion shows in New York and Milan and Paris, and fashion magazines, and we meet with designers and fashion luminaries in the industry. So we work a lot on kind of staying up to date on trends. So that's really a big, important part of our jobs. So, and I've introduced you to Holland, so she'll be modeling and walking around. Okay, so the one thing I just wanted to say to you folks before we get started, and we will have time for questions at the end, so feel free to bring forth any questions you have. If you're thinking about them, we'll devote a couple of minutes at the end to prep some questions. So we do a lot of research of our readers for Eye Care Business. It's on a monthly basis, and we send out to about 40,000 eye care professionals our surveys every month on different topics. Some of them are fashion related, trend related. A lot of them are business related. It's as you might imagine, over the last 3 years, a lot of them were pandemic related. How's your business coping? From a practice management and just survival standpoint. But we do kind of an annual frame and sunwear survey, which we're actually just working on to launch for 2022. We do it every year, and every single year consistently, we have asked our readers, and they have given us the same answer, to rank different qualities of frame. Kind of, is it construction? Is it quality? Is it style? Is it brand? What are the key things that you consider when purchasing your products for your optical shop or your dispensary or your practice? And consistently, frame styling has been ranked as the second most important feature when buying products. Of course, construction quality of the frame has ranked consistently as number one. So that is kind of a key thing, and obviously style is really important and important to your customers in your optical shop. So before we get started with our trends, I'd like to I always do this and kind of just want to know who's here. So could you do me all a favor and please raise your hand if you are an optician? Awesome. See? And could you please raise your hand if you're an optometrist? We got passers-by going by. That's awesome. Please raise your hand if you're an office manager or a member of your staff that purchases frame products. That's great. Doing it all. All right. So we're on to our trends. If our awesome tech team back there, you guys are on it, we can pull up our first trend here. I'm going to sit for these trends. I got to save my feet. Okay, so we're going to talk about these trends, and each of us are kind of going to share a little perspective on the trend, and then Holland is going to walk around, show you the frames. So this first trend is called Crystal Light, and Holland's going to model one style here. Carrie Ann, what is that frame?
This is a Jimmy Choo sunglass from Zappalo, and it's actually the one in the bottom right that was featured in our lovely fashion shoot.
And that is in our March issue, which is our Vision Expo issue that is here at the show. So this trend is really, really embodied in this frame. This kind of, we went from very blingy kind of looks to really pared down kind of looks to now this crystal light, like where it's just a very thin outline. We're seeing it in fashion too, just in terms of there's more sequins and kind of crystals on clothing even. that are showing up. I saw a lot at the Oscars, just some really fun stuff coming out there. More bling, but like tasteful and sophisticated in the way it's delivered. And this is really being seen in eyewear, as you can see here on our trend boards. This is kind of, you know, a couple of different frames that we have shown up here that really embody this trend. So I'll pass it over to Terrence for his kind of take on bling, which I'm sure is you're in.
Yeah, I don't wear bling at all. I don't believe in it. No. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you all saw me yesterday. You know, even my eyewear, I had a blinged out cat, you know, on the frame. And I just think sometimes that I love the fact how men are embracing bling in their eyewear. I think about the hip hop community. You know, we think about them. They want the customized bling in their eyewear as well. So I think about a frame like this. You know, even so, with using the light bling around the rib there. Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely here for it. And this is like one of those frames that if you want to dress up an outfit, if you want everything to be right there about the frame itself, this is something nice. I love that Holland's wearing this cool black outfit, you know, sheep leather pants, and your eyes just go to her frame first.
Very true, very good point, because you really, and we try to do this in our fashion shoots as well, really keep the eyewear center stage, and that really kind of understated but very cool outfit really works well with this kind of trend. So carry in.
This cover too, by the way, I saw it working out.
Yes.
It's a beautiful cover, so well done.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love this trend because typically I wouldn't be, you know, a bling. I'm not Terrence. I can just go all out. But I think this is very like Euphoria channel. Everyone wants to wear the blinged out makeup, and it's just a little bit of a touch to, like Terrence said, kind of tying a look together.
It really does, and it's nice because it is very wearable, right? It's not like total bling, heavy bling isn't for everybody, but this definitely.
Yeah.
You know, I could see myself wearing that. I could see my mother wearing that. I could see my friends wearing that.
Yeah.
Definitely a very
Accessible.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so our next trend board, number 2, thank you, over there, team. Perfect punctuation. So we're going to switch out the frames here. So this was also one of our trends that we featured in our March issue. And if you haven't seen it yet and you want to see the full fashion shoot, it's on eyecarebusiness.com, our digital editions right there. You can flip through it and look at the whole fashion shoot. We lay out 7 trends, so you'll get even more if you go to the issue. You're going to get 5 here today. But this was another one of the trends that we highlighted in this fashion feature for our March issue for the show. And perfect punctuation. So just kind of these details. If you look at the frame on the model with the kind of orange coral outfit, that is just a really, like the outline on the front of the frame, it's just like very punctuating, but very sophisticated at the same time. On the other side, with the kind of daisy outfit, that's an LA Eyeworks frame, obviously very kind of a little more over the top, a lot going on there, but it's definitely, you know, part of that punctuation kind of feeling. We're seeing a lot of really cool details and unique colorations that are just kind of making those frames pop for this trend. So I'll pass it on to Terrence. What's your thought on punctuation?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the frame that the gentleman's wearing, do we know who that is?
I would have to look.
I think it's a Loewe frame.
It's from the runway, so that
Yeah.
might be where.
Yeah, I think it's a Loewe frame. And I like about this punctuation is that, to me, this is fashion, right? And I see a lot of people wearing this outside, but they're wearing these punctuation frames inside. We think about, oh, you don't wear sunglasses inside. Well, obviously, I'm not a believer of that, right? And we're seeing this trend here where a lot of men and women both, because it just enhances everything, it is fashion, that they're very comfortable wearing these frames outside and inside. So I think this shape here, for me, through the pandemic, this whole punctuation has really taken off.
Definitely. Yeah, I think it's like it just kind of, and now everyone's kind of re-emerging, right? So want to be a little bit, everybody's happy to be noticed a little more. Obviously, we've seen, like on this coral outfit, a ton of color for spring. You know, in clothing, it's color, 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 color everywhere. Which, sorry, and then having Terrence is our color representative.
Here for it. And I even think like people like you think like trendy people like Donna and A$AP Rocky, you know, they're wearing a lot of frames like this. You know, for them being so influential.
Absolutely.
Music also in fashion.
Definitely. And so not totally wearable for everyone on some of these styles, but like this style here on the coral outfit.
Yeah, she's actually wearing that right now. That's a Philip line from Derigo Rem. And I just love that it's an optical that's in this shape, because sometimes you can get the really punctuating over the top suns, but I love the look in an optical.
Derigo really killed it in this collection.
They
And
did.
it's
really did.
gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
They
Had
did.
it on one of our previous covers. It's so beautiful. Yes, and so this is a much more wearable incarnation of that kind of style. So much more wearable for a wide variety of folks. Okay, so we'll move to our next trend board, which is Hollywood Hype. So this is a really fun trend. This trend actually isn't in our fashion shoot. Carrie Ann pulls together a lookbook for each of our kind of show issues, our March and our September issues for Vision Expo West. And it includes top 10 Pantone colors for the season. It includes key runway trends, but brings in, sorry.
And it's very fun.
It's very fun. It's super fun. She does a great job with it and pulls in kind of runway shots with eyewear. So this Hollywood Hype, you know, really old school Hollywood glamour. We saw a lot of this at the Oscars. We've seen a lot of it on the runway. It's a beautiful trend and really fun. Definitely a little more, you know, kind of leaning into the sunwear zone. Not as much an optical trend, but you can still, you know, have it in optical for sure. So I'll pass this one actually first to you, Carrie Ann, because this was your trend you pulled for the lookbook.
Definitely. So the pictures on the right and then the second one over, they're from the Gucci runway, and that was set in Hollywood, and the whole vibe was old school Hollywood, and I just fell in love with this trend. I think it's so fun. And, you know, what else is more Hollywood than rocking like a cool sunglass? You need to hide from the paparazzi, and you know, you need to tie your look together. So right now Holland's wearing just a classic gray band, and then she'll put on a oversized silhouette frame. And I think obviously the cat eye, the aviator, those are gonna be your big trend-setting Hollywood styles for this season. And of course, everyone can wear those as well.
Perfect. And Terrence, I have a feeling you got something to say about Hollywood glamour.
Yeah, well, first of all, Carrie Ann, great polls. This is really, really, I can tell you had fun.
I did.
I love this. Yeah, this is great. This is awesome. It kind of reminds me, you know, I'm only 6 years into the industry, but I've done a lot of research with a lot of people about when the jeweler and the optician used to work hand in hand, very close on frames, you know, to embellish and to make things look more unique and everything. Because people wanted something that the next person didn't have. So I can go ahead and pick out a frame, but I want to make it so unique that I know that no one's going to have this embellishment. And I feel like this is what's bringing it back as well. And I think, you know, people like, Cynthia Erivo here and Paul Mason and other ones that are pictured here. They do a great job of having this look like I'm here. Don't make a big deal about me being here. You know, this is a frame that I would probably wear on an airplane just to get upgrade the first class.
Yeah, don't mess with me. I'm a big deal.
You know, who is that guy? Don't worry about it. Just upgrade me.
Says it all. So does she have a second frame that she's wearing?
Yeah, she had the silhouette. Now I think she has that's a silhouette aviator. It's a black and gold. It kind of ties in actually to our next trend because it's thin. It's not that, chunky acetate aviator. So it's just beautiful style.
It is. Boy, talk about wearable, but like gorgeous. Really, really easy to wear. So, okay, we're ready for trend board number 3. 4. We're already down to 4.
Now we're flying.
Yes. Thin is in. So when it comes to frames, and especially, we're looking at optical, we're looking at sun, but thin, lightweight metals, we've been seeing a ton of those, but really unique incarnations. So, what's the first one she's got on
She
here?
has a Furla frame, also from
That's
Jerusalem.
beautiful. How pretty. Oh my God.
It has some thin cutouts too on the side, which are really fun.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, super thin, but like really kind of stands out. You know, it really kind of shines, and it does have those cutouts kind of up,
Yeah.
frame front on the sides. So yes, so we've just been seeing a lot of lightweight, kind of super lightweight materials, super lightweight, just shapes, and even in sunwear, as I mentioned, just a really beautiful, very wearable, obviously very comfortable frame style to wear. And through the pandemic, you know, Lord knows we all got really comfortable. So we're happy to continue the comfort. We saw Ashley Mills here earlier. She was in her Uggs, kicking off the show. So we're definitely rocking that comfort.
Yes.
So Terrence, I'll just pass this one to you in terms of this kind of super lightweight, very sleek look.
So I'm a little biased. You have Maxwell.
I knew you would love it. I put that one
Yeah,
there.
I appreciate that. And as we know, Maxwell just released the frame with our friends at State, which is all friends in the room here, and they're donating a portion of the proceeds to a scholarship I created, Opening Your Eyes Scholarship, that sends students a picture college. So I'm a little biased about that frame. But I will tell you though, this used to be a style that I used to actually shy away from. And the reason why is because it was, to me, the ones that were in larger sizes weren't very interesting before. So it's nice to see that a lot of companies are taking the risk with this, with larger size eyewear, with these thin metals. You can get something that's very unique for someone, or someone that just says, I don't want this to play titanium with the top bar. I want something that's going to really have a little more to it. You know what I mean?
That it speaks for itself. And I think with the model in the coral, actually Holland is wearing that same silhouette frame.
Okay.
And like you said, it's thin, but it's still bold and has it does speak for itself.
We worked with this, at our fashion show.
Yeah.
And it is such a beautiful frame. It's very sleek. It's kind of wrapped, but it's still a fashion frame. And gosh, talk about lightweight and comfortable. It's a really fantastic frame. Definitely embodies the trend.
I think this really shows an evolution in silhouette as well. I think this collection.
We were just there yesterday, and they were saying that.
Yeah.
It's kind of being a little bit more bold. It doesn't have to be that kind of simple semi-rimless frame. It can be more, and I agree in terms of I would kind of shy away from this because I think too with a larger face, I thought maybe I would need a chunkier frame. But I think now with the larger sizes too and the bolder silhouettes, it can be worn by, anyone.
Definitely. Really gorgeous trend. All right, so we'll move on to trend board number 5. This is another trend that Carrie-Ann pulled into her lookbook feature for, it's not in our fashion feature, not our fashion shoot. It's in our lookbook feature in the March issue. And this, as I was mentioning before, these really saturated, gorgeous colors. I mean, you look at anything in fashion right now, you're seeing this pink, you're seeing these deep blues, gorgeous, kind of almost turquoisey blues. I mean, it's just, and that coral like we've seen, it's really so great to feel that exuberance again, of fashion and of color. And it's really, really, you're going to see it everywhere in spring and summer for sure. So pink definitely is the standout for sure. It's definitely the color of the season.
It's hard for me to embrace, but I'm trying to. I think I could embrace it in terms of eyewear. That'll be my gateway into pink.
Right? Absolutely. I know. And Terrence, you've embraced it.
Oh man, do I embrace pink? Wow. Well, yesterday I looked like a pink highlighter. And
We're rocking the OWA color.
yeah. And then today I have my pink opera suit. And honestly, the frame that this gentleman is wearing in the picture, I would definitely wear that frame. In fact, I picked out a pink curtain frame yesterday to wear when I was over when I shipped with them. So yes, I think this is, as you said, color of the season. The pinks, the greens are another one. And what's nice about pink, you can do some real fun things with lenses. Pink.
Right? I
Real
look at
fun.
these lenses.
I know.
But maybe Carrie Ann get a
That's-
pink frame
You
and a
totally-
cool lens.
Or you could do a thin metal frame with a big lens.
Go. You know,
That'll be the look.
call it Rose.
Calling
Rose.
all exhibitors. Pink thin frame, please.
These are gorgeous. So what is Holland?
That's a Kate Spade style from Sapphalo, and I love that. This is kind of that sweeter kind of girly pink because it has hearts on the temples too in red. So it's just a really cute frame.
really fun.
Yeah, it's super
Totally.
fun.
Did she have a second frame or
She
just
does not.
this
This
one
is
for
the
pink?
last one to tie it out.
Okay, that's great. All right, so that is our pink trend, and those are our 5 trends. Let's see how we're doing on time. We have time for questions. I think we're doing good. Well, we're maybe a tiny bit, but that's okay. We
Doing better than you.
exactly. It's all good. So I hope that you can take some ideas away here for your optical, for your dispensary, for your buying while you're here at the show. Just kind of, looking for these trends. I'm sure you're going to see a lot of this and much, much more on the show floor. I'll take questions in a minute here, but I always like to finish out our trends presentation with a quote. And I'm going to pull in, we had, right before the pandemic hit, it was January 2020, we had the great fortune to do a fashion shoot or a profile shoot with the legendary icon Iris Apfel, and Terrence joined us for that shoot. We shot her in her apartment in Palm Beach, which was incredible, and she is on one of our issues last year on the cover, and we did a fantastic interview with her. Obviously, she is an eyewear icon and has, her own collections now with Zenny, I think, and she's just got a lot going on. But so I'll end us with a quote with her. This is from her Q&A it was in our September 2020 issue. So if you want to check that out, that's online on eyecarebusiness.com. We asked her about the COVID crisis at hand. I'm a big believer that people don't realize that they have a lot of space for creativity that they don't use. I think it's a good time to put it to work. If you have a lot of mashed up lemons, you make lemonade. Learn to live in the now, not in the past, and not in the future, because you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. Classic Iris. So thank you all very much. If you have does anyone have any questions? Feel free to just raise your hand. If you would like any further info, feel free to come up and give us your card. We can send you the trend boards to use in your own business. But if anybody has any questions, please let us know. Come on up. But thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. We hope you enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.